It's wild. A cartoon about talking dogs somehow hides more secrets than half the shows made for adults. 1. The hidden pet fish. Everyone knows the healers have no pets besides themselves, right? Wrong. There's a secret little creature living above them all. In Bluey's official house game, you can spot an aquarium sitting quietly on the roof with a tiny fish swimming inside. It never shows up in the actual show, and no one ever mentions it. Maybe the healers keep it hidden to avoid awkward questions, like why a family of dogs owns a fish. It's funny and a bit creepy to think about. That poor fish has probably been watching every healer dance party from above, completely unnoticed. 2. Disney and Bluey's World. In one scene, Bingo proudly shows off a drawing of a dog version of The Little Mermaid. At first, it just looks like cute kid art. But think about it for a second. How would Bingo know that story unless Disney actually exists in their world? That means somewhere out there, a dog-shaped Walt Disney is making dog-shaped princess movies. It's both hilarious and a little unsettling. Imagine Bluey begging to watch Pariel or Dogahontas. This tiny drawing quietly confirms that the healers live in a world where even Disney magic has gone full canine. 3. The Lost Baby Healer. Before Bluey even aired, there was a strange promo image showing the healer family with 5 members. Look closely and you'll notice Chili was pregnant. That means there was once going to be another healer pup, a little sibling for Bluey and Bingo. But somewhere along the way, that baby disappeared from the story. Many believe the idea was quietly dropped after something heartbreaking happened in real life. Maybe the show's creator went through a loss himself, and the story changed to reflect that pain. It's a secret so quiet, it's almost like the missing pup never existed. 4. The Roof Football Mystery. At some point in the series, an American football suddenly shows up on top of the healer family's roof. No one throws it, no one mentions it, and honestly, no one in that house even plays that sport. It just appears one day, like it fell out of another universe. Was there a secret episode where Bandit tried to relive his rugby glory days and overshot the yard? Or did a random neighbor's kid launch it up there years ago? Whatever happened, that lonely football is still sitting above the house like a forgotten clue to an untold story. 5. Bandit's secret habit. In the episode Granny Mobile, Bandit picks up a strange little bowl and studies it for a moment. It's not a toy, and it's definitely not part of the game. Take a closer look. It's an ashtray. That tiny object opens a weird possibility. Maybe Bandit once had a few bad habits he'd rather the kids never find out about. It's never mentioned again, almost like the show quietly hides it away. The idea of Bluey's fun-loving dad sneaking outside for a smoke sounds wild, but that mysterious ashtray makes you wonder what Bandit gets up to when no one's watching. 6. The dog on the $100 bill. During the episode Granny Mobile, there's a blink-and-you-miss-it moment where the old lady flashes some cash. Look closer and you'll see the money looks shockingly real. It's almost identical to Australia's actual $100 bill, right down to the colors and layout. But instead of Sir John Monash, the note shows a dog version of him, complete with that proud military pose. The detail is so perfect, it's almost eerie. Like the animators secretly printed real currency for cartoon dogs. It's one of those tiny touches that make you wonder if Bluey's world runs on a perfectly legal dog economy. 7. The traveling $5 bill. Bluey once decorated a $5 note with a shiny tooth fairy sticker and gave it to a street performer. And that same note somehow keeps coming back, showing up in market, dance mode, and silent game. It's like the world's most loyal piece of money, quietly jumping through time. The detail is easy to miss, but the sticker never changes, proving it's the exact same note every time. Maybe the busker kept it for good luck, or maybe the bill is cursed to follow the healers forever. Either way, this tiny piece of currency has a bigger storyline than most characters. 8. The Mysterious Music Man. That cheerful street performer strumming his guitar isn't just a random extra. He's actually modeled after Geoff Bush, the real-life composer behind every emotional Bluey soundtrack. It's a fun self-insert that most people never notice, but things get even stranger later on. In the sign, this same busker suddenly shows up as the wedding officiant for Rad and Frisky. So, is he a musician, a priest, or some undercover legend who does it all? Either way, it's hilarious to think the guy writing Bluey's music is also the one marrying the characters he helped bring to life. 9. The newspaper that never changes. If you watch closely, Bandit is seen reading the exact same newspaper in both the Zoo and Shaw episodes. Same photo, same headline, same everything. Either time has stopped in the healer household, or Bandit hasn't turned a single page in years. Maybe that newspaper isn't for news at all. It's just his shield against doing chores. Every parent knows that trick. Sit on the couch, open a paper, and suddenly you're busy? It's the perfect disguise. The man might be an archaeologist by trade, but clearly, Bandit's real talent is digging for excuses to avoid cleaning the house. 10. Honey's room confirms she's a wizard. If you scan Honey's room carefully, the clues jump out like a Hogwarts acceptance letter. There's an owl statue, a flying broomstick, and a blue striped scarf that looks suspiciously like Ravenclaw colors. On the wall, there's even a wizard zooming above a castle, just in case it wasn't obvious enough. While no one ever says the words Harry Potter, this setup doesn't leave much room for doubt. Honey isn't just organized and bookish. She's basically the Hermione of Bluey. All she's missing is a wand and a dog-shaped Patronus. Probably already has both. 11. The Chunky Chimps universe. If you look around during Bluey's adventures, you'll keep spotting posters for a movie called Chunky Chimps. They show up at the cinema, the city, even in background scenes where no one's paying attention. It's like the Healer family lives in a world obsessed with these banana-loving monkey stars. The best part is how the posters never explain the plot. Are the chimps superheroes, detectives, chaos-causing maniacs? Whatever they are, they've clearly become Bluey's version of the Marvel Universe. Somewhere out there, dogs are lining up for Chunky Chimps 3. The Peeling? I'd honestly watch that movie too. 12. The Secret Life of Long Dogs. You've probably noticed those weird little sausage-shaped dogs hiding in random corners of Bluey episodes. They're called long dogs, and they're way more than just decoration. Sometimes they're part of the joke, dressed up to match whatever chaos the healers are causing. One holds a whisk during Duck Cake, another wears a cheetah outfit in Unetsi's. It's like the animators are running a secret side story right under our noses. These stretchy little creatures have been everywhere, watching every episode unfold. At this point, they might actually be the true masterminds of the entire Bluey universe. 13. Missy's hidden story. During Pass the Parcel, something feels a little off. Every kid in the party looks exactly like their parents. Same fur color, same breed, everything. But then there's Missy. She looks completely different from her mom. It's not a mistake. It feels intentional. Maybe Missy was adopted. Or maybe she just takes after someone we haven't met. Either way, it quietly adds something beautiful to her character. Bluey often shows families in all shapes and sizes, and Missy's difference might be its sweetest secret. It's a tiny moment that says love, not looks, is what makes a family real. 14. Pretzel, the lone pup. Pretzel, the tiny chihuahua, is one of those background characters you might not think about much. But if you start paying attention, you'll notice something strange. He's always alone. In Calypso, Cricket, and even Curry Quest, he plays by himself while everyone else hangs out. It's not sad exactly, just different. Maybe Pretzel enjoys his own company, or maybe he's that quiet kid who doesn't need a crowd. Either way, his solitude feels intentional. It's rare to see a children's show quietly celebrate an introvert, but Pretzel proves you don't need a pack to have a good time. 15. The show that almost was. Believe it or not, Bluey was never supposed to be about Bluey. The original plan was a show called Rusty, starring a red Kelpie with his own adventures. Rusty was meant to be the center of everything, the brave, curious pup who kicked off the whole idea. But somewhere along the way, the spotlight shifted to that little blue dog we know today. Rusty still shows up as one of Bluey's closest friends, like a quiet reminder of what could have been. Imagine if the world had grown up saying, "Rusty's playing," instead. Feels weird, doesn't it? 16. The real-life Bandit. Bandit's love for digging up bones isn't just a funny job choice. It's actually based on reality. Joe Brumm, the creator of Bluey, gave Bandit the same career as his own brother, who's a real archaeologist. That explains why Bandit always seems a little too excited about fossils and ancient dirt. It's basically his family's inside joke turned into a character trait. The best part is how it fits perfectly for a dog. Of course, a blue healer would grow up to make a living digging holes for bones. It's like Bandit took the world's oldest dog instinct and made it professional. 17. Bandit's Glory Days. Hidden on one of the shelves in the healer house are a few dusty trophies and a forgotten rugby ball. They're easy to miss, but they reveal something surprising about Bandit's past. Before he was a goofy dad covered in stickers, he might have been a serious athlete. Maybe he was the local rugby champ, diving for tries before diving for toys. It's funny to think the same guy who struggles to get off the couch once sprinted across a field. Those trophies aren't just props. They're reminders that even Bandit once had his own glory, days before bedtime stories took over. 18. Trouble in the Stripe House. If you've ever watched Facey Talk or the sign closely, you'll notice something awkward happening behind the fun. Stripe and Trixie, usually the loud but lovable aunt and uncle duo, keep snapping at each other. The arguments are quiet, hidden behind jokes, but even Socks seems to notice. She copies them with her toys like it's just part of normal life. It's a subtle reminder that not every home is perfect, even in Bluey's world. Their bickering feels a little too real at times, like the show is gently saying that love isn't always smooth, but it's still worth working for. 19. The house that almost vanished. In the sign, Bandit seriously considers selling the healer home after getting a big job offer, but this decision didn't come out of nowhere. Earlier episodes like Curry Quest and Stickbird quietly show him looking distant, distracted, and deep in thought while the rest of the family has fun. It's like the idea had been eating at him for a while. Moving for work would have meant uprooting everything they love, and Bandit knew it. When he finally chooses to stay, it's not just about a house. It's about what really matters. Sometimes the greatest treasure is right under your paws. 20. Bingo's mysterious hospital stay. In Bumpy and the Wise Old Wolfhound, Bingo spends time in the hospital, but no one ever explains why. She's shown struggling to breathe, and later, in another episode, Bandit packs her a gluten-free lunch. Put the clues together, and it paints a quiet picture. Bingo might have a serious food allergy that once sent her to the hospital. It's never said out loud, but it makes sense. The show turns something scary into something gentle and hopeful, showing how families adapt. It's touching, but also a little heartbreaking, realizing that even tiny heroes like Bingo have hidden battles. 21. The missing grandmother. We've met Bandit's parents plenty of times, but Chile's mom is a complete mystery. She never appears, not even in old photos or flashbacks, which is unusual for a show that loves family stories. The silence around her feels intentional, almost too quiet. Many viewers believe she passed away when Chile was young, maybe from a health problem that later showed up in Bingo. It's a heartbreaking thought that adds weight to Chile's gentle, patient nature. She knows what loss feels like, and maybe that's why she's so determined to fill her daughters' lives with warmth and laughter. 22. The magic of mistakes. Every show slips up sometimes, but Bluey's errors are oddly entertaining. Walls switch colors mid-scene, fruit multiplies out of nowhere, and trees straight up disappear, only to pop back in like nothing happened. Instead of ruining the moment, these tiny animation mistakes make the world feel strangely alive, almost like it's playing along with the kids' imagination. Maybe Bluey's universe is so full of magic that even the background can't sit still. Or maybe the animators just forgot a few layers. Either way, it's fun to think the chaos isn't an error at all. It's part of the adventure. 23. The case of the missing spots. If you ever rewatch the early Bluey pilot, you'll notice something strange about her back. She used to have 6 spots instead of the 3 we see now. Somewhere between the test version and the final show, half of them mysteriously vanished. It wasn't magic though, it was practicality. The animators decided fewer spots made their job easier and the design cleaner. Still, it's funny to think there's a whole lost spots conspiracy hidden in Bluey's fur. Maybe they'll come back one day in a flashback and we'll finally learn where those missing dots ran off to. 24. The tree that tells time. In Bin Night, there's a tree quietly sitting in the background that does something incredible. At the start of the episode, it's full of ripe fruit, bright and ready to fall. Later, when we see the same spot again, all the fruit is gone, scattered on the ground. It's such a tiny change that most people miss it completely. But it's also proof that Bluey's world moves forward, even when no one's looking. That small detail makes everything feel real, like the tree has its own life and schedule. Just another character quietly doing its job in the background. 25. Grandpa Bob's fading memory. Grandpa Bob doesn't appear often, but when he does, something feels off. In Fairy Tale, he forgets Bandit's name and can't remember that Bingo was even born. It seems funny at first, but the more you think about it, the sadder it gets. His confusion and long absences might mean he's quietly dealing with memory loss. The show never says it directly, but the clues are there. It's heartbreaking to imagine the healers visiting him while pretending everything's fine. What looks like lighthearted forgetfulness could actually be a gentle way of showing how families cope with growing older together. 26. Bluey and Mackenzie's future. It all started with the creek, when Bluey and Mackenzie shared a quiet, awkward, and kind of adorable moment together. Ever since then, people have wondered if those two might be more than just childhood friends. The theory grew so much that some fan animations even show them grown up, married, and raising pups of their own. Whether it's true or not, the idea feels oddly right. They balance each other perfectly. Bluey's wild imagination with Mackenzie's calm nature. Maybe one day the show will give us a tiny hint, but for now, it's the sweetest what if out there. That's it. All the hidden moments that change how you see Bluey forever. Funny how a kid's show can feel more real than real life. But be honest, is Bluey pure coincidence or quiet genius? Tell me what you think below.